Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Welcome to our weekend, and it's an hour later or an hour earlier. Guys, we switched the clocks. I'm a little confused. I don't know, guys. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Guys, please like, subscribe, and share. Really appreciate it. Doesn't cost anything. For those of you with the memberships and the super chats and the PayPals and thank you so much, guys. I so appreciate that. Let me say that from the get. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Guys, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Liam Payne. I spoke a little bit about Liam. For those of you that don't know, Liam Payne was one of the singers from the group One Direction. Now, One Direction, huge group. You know, I know several kids that had a crush on one of those guys, and, you know, like most people that like a band, if they haven't seen them together, even if they have seen them together, they want to see them one more time, and we hold out hope, and then that hope is extinguished when we lose a member of the band, because even if they try to replace that person, the band is not the same. It is not the same band. End of story. It's just not. Especially when there were 5 huge personalities in that band, and Liam had an amazing voice. You know, I think Liam had the most velvety, just the most polished voice of them all. I'm not saying he has the best voice. I think that his voice just surprised me. And, you know, I'm an old lady. I'm not into One Direction, but I have to say I know some of the songs. Obviously, I don't live under a rock. I like Harry Styles. I like some of his newer stuff. My day was Donny Osmond, Leif Garrett. You know, I got to see them both. I was hopeful until I was 16 that I would see the Beatles. Never got the chance to see them. I'm young for the Beatles, you know what I'm saying? I'm younger than most of the Beatle fans or the average Beatle fans at the time. But I hoped at some point I would see the Beatles, and that was taken away when John was MURDERED'd in front of the Dakota Apartments, December 8th, 1980, right? So, but this man was 31 years old. There's things that apparently happened here, you know, from everything that I've gathered. There's some things that definitely happened here when it came to Liam. I think that his record company had let him go. He was dealing with, I think, some sort of problem with the mother of his child. They were still dealing with issues, and who knows why his girlfriend left earlier than he did, even though they were only supposed to be there for 5 days. They were there for 2 weeks, and she was like, I don't want to stay here. Maybe she saw something spiral and she tried and she couldn't. There's speculation of so much. The facts, though, if we are to believe them, are that he didn't have any kind of reflex to when he fell. So they said if he would have fallen inside, he would have fallen on his bed. He fell. I don't understand how you fall. There's usually some sort of ledge, you know, and I don't know how tall he was. I don't know if there was more of a top heaviness, if he just flipped over. I don't know what that looked like, but they said that there was also 25 injuries on him. 25 injuries on him, but no self-defense injuries, and again, no break my fall injuries. So they found the room. There was drug paraphernalia strewn about. You know, so what I'm saying is that it seems to me, you know, there's a duty of care with everybody when we push people too far. I work an awful lot of hours, but, you know, the job asks, you know, is it too much? Are you taking on too much? We don't want you to take on too much. You know, there is more of a duty of care. Is there a duty of care for the entertainers, for people that have to show up and put everything aside and get on stage and put everything out there and sing the same song every night? That's something, honestly, I couldn't do. I wouldn't look forward to doing. And I'm not saying that Liam was doing that at the time, but he had done that, and working so hard and being fired or feeling unwanted and underappreciated at a time when, when one bad thing happens, it doesn't seem like it's one bad thing. It seems like it's a culmination of a few things. And he self-medicated to the point, and this new thing, this pink, COCAINE, apparently has nothing to do with COCAINE. That's ketamine, that's and then meth, and then there's another drug too. It's like unbelievable. But there was a lot of stuff found. So it is weird to me as well that the hotel reached out and said, listen, we're afraid for this guy that because of the balcony. So I don't know if he was speaking about that, but again, apparently he didn't, he apparently fell or collapsed, or that's what they said, that he collapsed before that happened. So how do you just roll off then? I'd like to see the balcony, and I certainly don't want to see him do that, but I'd like to see like an AI dummy, do that and see what happened there. Guys, all of this is coming out at a time, unfortunately, where we have seen over and over again the lack of appreciation that we have for the soul of people. People just going to work and trying to do the best they can. And are you really trading in popularity for health? Should it really be as black and white as that? There is a struggle that has to be. Some people do good with change. Some people don't do so well with change. And we see these younger artists who have no sense of even who they are. And then they have all these expectations put upon them. So I remember when Leif Garrett had that car accident. And all of a sudden he was pulled from all of the teen magazines, 16 magazine, Tiger Beat, Teen Beat. He was pulled from that. And I was wondering, what happened to Leif Garrett? What happened to Leif Garrett? And of course, we didn't have social media, so it took like a couple of years later for something to come out, and an interview or something where the accident came out and how he had too much to drink and had partaken in drugs. And you think, not Leif Garrett, not my Leif Garrett. So now things are much more open and we can find things out more, and support is right there 100%. And apparently Liam had sobriety and I guess lost it. He has a 6-7-year-old little boy, and it's incredibly sad. He was a son. He was a brother. He was a dad. He was loved by so many people. So many people build their memories are built on the songs of One Direction and the faces of the 5 boys that made that, and of the hope of one day getting back together. Guys, you asked for them and they have arrived. Here they are. And they say, be better today than you were yesterday, but not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Guys, Cash App is inside my description, and or PayPal also in my description. Guys, $4, and I'll mail them to you. If you're out of the country, $5. Guys, just make sure that you send your address with it. In the memo, you should put your address. Inside is embossed. It says Toddy One Skip.